Before the release of Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2018, if you were to ask the question, are Red Dead Redemption and GTA connected? Well, it probably would have been no. But since Red Dead Redemption 2, we've got some interesting pieces of evidence that actually tie together GTA and Red Dead. Now, you might have already seen a video like this on YouTube from the leaderboard, which you can check out. It's a really good video. I've had this idea since way back when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, but because that game died out so quick online, I lost a lot of interest and I just have put it off for so long. But now I want to follow up a video that I did 2 weeks ago called How is Every GTA Connected? And now that we've got that out the way, I thought, hey, let's do it with Red Dead as well. Let's finally bring this idea to fruition. So we've actually got 8 or so pieces of evidence that connect GTA to Red Dead. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you learned something new as well, that would be awesome. Let's go for 2,000 likes. If you don't give this video a thumbs up, then I'm going to tell everybody that
I don't like women, partner.
You think I'm lying? Try me. So to begin, let's go ahead and start things out with what isn't connected between GTA and Red Dead, and that would be John Marston's parent model in GTA Online. So I'm pretty sure that most everybody knows by now, but if not, when creating your GTA Online character, you can choose John Marston to be your parent, which obviously is going to help shape what your character looks like. Now, this was originally just a collector's edition bonus, I want to say, in the original version of GTA 5, or you might have gotten this unlocked by being or signing up with the social club. One of the two. So anyways, it was very limited at first. Now it's available to everybody, and this means absolutely nothing beyond the fact that it's just a nice reference to Red Dead Redemption. Now, a lot of you can argue that, no, this could be John Marston because he could have been 90 years old and he could have had a kid with somebody else. Well, John Marston was born in 1873. And if you haven't played Red Dead Redemption, I'm going to spoil it for you. But at this point, I don't care because the game is 10 years old. So you missed out. That's your fault for not playing. But John Marston dies in 1911. So really, it would be impossible for John Marston to actually be your parent because you would have to be born sometime in 1911 or 1912. And your character would be really, really old. So that just doesn't make any sense right there. Next up, let's talk locations. So this is a big one, and a lot of people say that because New York, for instance, is mentioned in Red Dead Redemption and the Red Dead series, that means that GTA and Red Dead are not connected. And being that Liberty City, for instance, is an in-game parody of real-life New York City, and Liberty City isn't mentioned in Red Dead, but New York is, that would mean that they're not connected. However, that's not the case, because if you've played through the GTA games, you will know that whether it's through various lines of dialogue in the story mode between characters, radio stations, or Easter eggs, that New York is mentioned, for instance, California is mentioned, where Los Santos is based out of, and Florida is mentioned, and that's where Vice City is located. So these real-life states are actually mentioned in GTA, meaning that they do exist in some weird, confusing way in the GTA universe. And because of that, well, if they exist in Red Dead, then they've got to exist in GTA, being that they are all mentioned. So contrary to popular belief, well, they're actually connected in that way. It doesn't mean that they're not connected because GTA parodies real-life locations and Red Dead mentions real-life locations. Next up, I kind of want to jump the gun and jump into something really exciting, and that is the Redemption book by J. Marston in GTA 5. So within GTA 5, whether it be Michael's house, Franklin's house, or just scattered all around the map in various interiors, we can find a book on a bookshelf that is called Redemption by J. Marston. Now, initially, that was an Easter egg in GTA 5, and that's where a lot of people started to speculate maybe they can be connected, these two game series. And Redemption, obviously, being the title of the Red Dead series, and J. Marston. Now, J. Marston could be John Marston or Jack Marston. However, we know that it's actually Jack Marston, being that John Marston threw out The Red Dead series is not very literate. He's not very smart when it comes to things like this. However, Jack, on the other hand, is very smart. He's the polar opposite of John Marston. He's not this manly, grizzly, gruff cowboy. Jack is just this nice, smart little kid that we get to know throughout Red Dead. So, being he's the opposite of John, in Red Dead Redemption 1, he mentions how he wants to become a writer and he loves reading books. Now, this is actually greatly expanded upon in Red Dead Redemption 2 earlier on in Jack's childhood, where once again we see that he is always reading books. He's very interested in them, and we even get tasked with a side mission in Red Dead Redemption 2 to search for some penny dreadful books for Jack Marston. So it makes all the sense in the world that in Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar kind of gave us some insight on Jack Marston, his love for novels, writing, books, and things like that. And then fast forward to 2013, we've got a book called Redemption by J. Marston. So really, really cool stuff there. Now, also throughout GTA, there are tons of references to Red Dead Redemption. I'm not going to get into any of those in this video because I do have a dedicated video talking about that and showing off most every Red Dead Redemption Easter egg in GTA 5, and that's from December 2017, so y'all can check that out. It's linked in the description if you'd like to see those Easter eggs, but those are just Easter eggs. Most of them are street names, for instance, just referencing names in Red Dead Redemption. Also, at the end of 2017, there was a treasure hunt in GTA Online for a revolver, and it was actually given to us by an email with the name Vanderlinde, which is a reference to Dutch Vanderlinde, and we got to find this revolver that we can unlock. It was like a pre-release revolver for Red Dead Redemption 2 that was in GTA Online, just a nice promotional thing that Rockstar did. I want to say that does not connect Red Dead and GTA in any way, shape, or form, as they were just simply promoting RDR2. Now, moving on, we've got something very interesting that I've once again made a dedicated video about in the past, way before Red Dead Redemption 2 was even announced, but this is the Sasquatch Hunters. So, if you don't know, this is a character from RDR Undead Nightmare. He's a Sasquatch hunter. He's blind in one eye. He wears a really cool raccoon tail hat, and just like kind of a cool frontiersman looking guy. Very interesting man. And he tasks us with actually hunting down the Sasquatches in Undead Nightmare. Now, in Grand Theft Auto 5, there's a mission called The Last One. And, well, the Sasquatch Hunter from Undead Nightmare actually appears in GTA 5. Literally, the same character, same dialogue. Everything to a T is the exact same. So this, once again, I would say is more or less classified as an Easter egg, but in the chance that it's not, I wanted to mention that in this video, just because that's some way that Red Dead Redemption and GTA could be connected. However, I would venture to say that's not the case, being that Undead Nightmare features zombies, things like that, and obviously GTA 5 doesn't. So most likely just two different alternate universes there, but this is just probably an Easter egg. And lastly, this is where things get really, really interesting. Prior to Red Dead Redemption 2's release, like I said at the beginning of the video, it could be up for debate whether or not Red Dead and GTA are in the same timeline, the same universe, and connected. But Rockstar did something very interesting within RDR2 that pretty much confirmed we're probably in the same universe here, and we are connected in some crazy way, shape, and form. And that is with the character Francis Sinclair, who appears in the mission Geology for Beginners. And what happens is we come across this man with a very strange dialect, old sport, talking like this, like somebody from the 1920s. Now that would be the mid-Atlantic or transatlantic accent. That's what that was called way back in the day with the Charleston Chew on the old TV shows and things like that from the 20s and 30s. So anyways, this strange man has red hair. He's got a birthmark on the right side of his face. He's wearing pale blue colors. It's very interesting just to take a note of kind of his appearance and what he's wearing. And what he wants us to do is go around and find some ancient rock carvings. And if we actually do that, once we are done collecting or gathering the locations for all of those, we head back to the cabin. And once inside, a woman holding a baby comes in. And Arthur mentions, hey, I was talking to your husband, found these locations, and she's like, dude, my husband has been dead for many, many years. So we take a look at this baby, and when the camera pans over, the baby has red hair, and a birthmark on the right side of his face, and Arthur is looking really, really confused. Now, this baby is actually Francis Sinclair, the man who gave us the task with finding the rock carvings. Francis Sinclair it's very evident he's a time traveler. And that would explain the dialogue, especially how it's like driving Arthur crazy and he cannot understand what's going on with, like I said, that mid-transatlantic accent, which was very prominent in the 1920s. And being that we're in the late 1890s in Red Dead Redemption 2, well, with Francis being a baby at that time, around the 1920s, he would be in his 20s, or maybe his mid-20s to early 30s. So that would explain why he had that transatlantic or mid-Atlantic accent, simply because he is a time traveler. Now, how does this connect to Grand Theft Auto? Well, once in this cabin, I just want to mention that you can see this huge mural on the wall. And in the middle, and all around, is the different drawings of the rock carvings that we found. But in the middle, we've got Francis. And on top of that, we've got a bald man with a birthmark on his face. And that is actually Kraft. Now, who is Kraft? Well, in the GTA universe, there is a cult called the Epsilon Program, which is a parody of Scientology. It's referenced in GTA 4 and GTA 5, and it's also mentioned in San Andreas, but that's part of the 3D universe, and the Epsilon Program is actually way different in the 3D universe than the HD universe, so we know that those aren't connected. We're simply in the HD universe here. Now, in GTA 5 with the Epsilon Program essentially worships a deity named Kraft, and Kraft is the emperor of the fourth paradigm. Now, what does Kraft look like? Well, Kraft is a bald man with a birthmark on his right eye. Just like Francis, he's got that birthmark on his face. Now, we can take a look and research the Epsilon Program all throughout GTA 5. You can even play through the missions as Michael, and you can go on their website and take a look around. Now, it says on their website, and it's very interesting to note, that anyone with a birthmark can be a descendant of Kraft. And lastly, going back to the appearance of Francis Sinclair, Francis is wearing pale blue clothing. And what is the Epsilon uniform? Pale blue clothing. So I believe that that's way more than just a big coincidence there with the birthmark, the pale blue clothing. Rockstar knew what they were doing. This is definitely just, whether it be a nice nod, reference, Easter egg, I think it definitely gets things stirring up. And this is just definitely a very, I would say, underappreciated Easter egg and mystery within Grand Theft Auto that's very overlooked, that should be pretty popular, as it's literally tying the two series together. So, moral of the story and kind of my synopsis here is that Red Dead and GTA either exist in the same universe with a different timeline, or the same timeline but a different universe. You can just take that and run with it. Either or, it works out both ways. All right, well, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video, and hopefully you have a better understanding now of how Red Dead and Grand Theft Auto are actually connected. It's really cool what Rockstar did with that. So if y'all learned something new from the video and you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up, or remember, I'm going to tell everybody that you don't like women, and consider subscribing as well. That way y'all never miss out on another daily video game upload. But with that said, I'm Zach Cox. Thank y'all for tuning in. I love you all, and I better see ya in the next video.